Flames engulfed a sorting center in the heart of Paris on Monday evening, sending a large cloud of smoke across the city. According to Associated Press, a large firefighting force was called to the blaze at the Syctom recycling plant in the 17th Arrondissement with around 60 fire trucks and 200 firefighters at the scene, according to the fire brigade. There is no risk of explosion and the risk of spread is limited, said Corentin Duprey, president of Syctom. Geoffrey Boulard, mayor of the 17th Arrondissement, said all staff inside had been evacuated and there were no reports of injuries. However, the building is completely gutted and destroyed.
Des vagues de fumée qui montent de temps en temps. C'est incroyable. Incroyable.
A storm system sweeping over large areas of the U.S. South and Midwest has resulted in at least 16 deaths, with overnight tornado and flash flood warnings setting up more severe weather that forecasters say could cause rising waterways for days to come. According to Associated Press, many of the impacted areas already were heavily waterlogged by early Sunday after days of severe storms that spawned deadly tornadoes. The Dawson Springs Police Department in Dawson Springs, Kentucky, sharing video on its Facebook page Saturday, called the flooding there unprecedented. "Keep in mind, folks, there is still more rain to come," the post read, with video showing much of the small town nearly submerged. New tornado warnings were issued overnight in Alabama and Mississippi, along with flash flood warnings for several counties in Kentucky, Mississippi, and Tennessee. The storms have hit as National Weather Service offices are short-staffed due to Trump administration cuts. The rate of Russian advances in Ukraine has been steadily declining since November 2024, in part due to successful Ukrainian counterattacks in eastern Ukraine. The UK Ministry of Defense reported that Russian forces advanced 143 square kilometers in Ukraine in March 2025 as Ukrainian forces conducted successful tactical counterattacks in the Pokrovsk direction. The UK MOD reported that the rate of Russian advances in Ukraine has decreased each month since November 2024, as Russian forces seized roughly 730 square kilometers in November 2024, 393 square kilometers in December 2024, 326 square kilometers in January 2025, and 195 square kilometers in February 2025. ISW has observed geolocated footage to concur in the assessment that the monthly rate of Russian advances in Ukraine has decreased since November 2024. ISW has observed geolocated evidence to assess that Russian forces in Ukraine gained roughly 627 square kilometers in November 2024, 569 square kilometers in December 2024, 427 square kilometers in January 2025, 354 square kilometers in February 2025, and 203 square kilometers in March 2025. The UK MOD likely uses a different methodology or sources to assess Russian advances in Ukraine, but the UK MOD's report is consistent with evidence ISW has observed of decreasing monthly Russian advances between November 2024 and March 2025. Ukrainian forces have conducted localized counterattacks in the Pokrovsk and Torets directions in recent weeks, regaining lost positions in these areas and contributing to slowing Russian advances in Ukraine. But Russian forces conducted the largest series of missile and drone strikes against Ukraine in nearly a month on the night of April 5 and 6. The Ukrainian Air Force reported that preliminary data states that Russian forces launched 9 Kh-101/Kh-55 cruise missiles from two 95 ms aircraft from the airspace over Saratov Oblast, 8 caliber cruise missiles from the Black Sea, 6 Iskander-M ballistic missiles from Bryansk Oblast, and 109 Shahid and decoy drones from the directions of Bryansk City, Milarovo, Rostov Oblast, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, Krasnodar Krai, and occupied Cape Chauda, Crimea.